Kia ora whanau, Roy here. I hope you guys have all had a really good weekend. Sorry. So today I've had a pretty stink thing happen to me with Critical, and I guess like when you're responsible for your own thing, I can't help but feel like you're really personally responsible. I mean, it was a bit of a surprise, but it wasn't really at the same time as well. But still, like it sucks. It's not nice, and I really wish things were different. Yeah, it's a bit fresh too, so it's going to be a bit of a ramble, but I think in moments or in spaces like this, like what I'm trying to not take it personally. Like I'm gonna be intentional around trying to not take this too personally as well, and try and just get out of my head a bit. What helps me are three things. Like I think the first thing is what gives me strength is my whakapapa is actually the story of my whānau, the story of my parents, who were brought they grew up out of the end of the Cultural Revolution, and had to work themselves out of poverty, did really well in China, and then decided to immigrate to New Zealand in the 90s to find themselves, at the time in New Zealand, were having to re-find their tūranga waiwai again, having to find their place. So I grew up, we grew up working class, we grew up, pretty tight, we were pretty poor. And just seeing the example of my parents in the space of not giving up and trying stuff again, overcoming just really immense odds, it gives me strength, to know that that's the whakapapa of where I come from, and to even to go before that, and from sort of the stories of my own tupungas, my own ancestors, and what they had to overcome. Like in times like today, it really gives me strength, and I'm really grateful for that. The second thing is count my blessings, in days like this, to help me get out of my head. And I'm so grateful for my whānau. Like I'm grateful for my amazing wife and our 3 kids, who loves and supports me unconditionally. I'm grateful to all our friends and whānau, like all our friends, our wider friends and wider whānau, who supports me, who has supported us over the years. I'm also super grateful. It's just to know that I've been here before. Like we've been in these tough spaces like here before, and we've been okay, and this will be okay. Yeah, and also just grateful that the fact that I can get to do what I do and not worry so much about my sense of financial security, and we have stability, we have security, and just what a gift this is. And the third thing, I guess, it's really helps me is I don't know what what your sort of beliefs or values are, but it's just to know that I am simply a part of this wider story, or this wider narrative that is so much greater than me and myself. I'm part of this much bigger story, and I play the small, humble part of it. And whatever your orientation is, but whether you call it God or the universe or the divine or whatever else, but the thing that really helps me is that, like there's actually a belief that, the universe is ultimately good, and that, this thing can, I don't know, man, this is getting a bit existential for me, but I'm loved, and I'm understood, in an existential space, in an existential sense, and I'm really grateful for that. So yeah, those are 3 things, and I guess kids, Theo, Annabelle, Malachi, if you are watching this, when you get into spaces like this, which undoubtedly you will at some stage in your life, whatever your pursuit is, just remember of the people who's done it before you. Remember the things that you are grateful for. And remember that you're not alone. And put yourself into a space, whether if you need to go for a walk, or to go talk to people, or come talk to me, talk to us, or your parents, to help you process through these things. But just find rhythms and patterns that gets you out of a space where the thinking is unproductive, and go with people that you trust to help you get into a space where you can be more productive. I don't know if that helps. Anyway, bit of a rant. Sorry for the long email. Who cares? Ka kite.